Have you noticed ever since your childhood that school has its ups and downs? We all go to school wanting to be successful, make friends, and be treated with respect. There are a lot of teachers that are respectful, helpful, and understandable. Unfortunately, that's not the case sometimes. There are going to be some teachers that treat you like dirt, put a lot of pressure on you, are really strict, and only care about themselves. I have noticed this in my life, both in grade school and in college. I have also noticed this in cartoons. So in this video, I will be talking about the top 5 worst teachers in cartoons. Now before I start, I just want to let you guys know that this is my own personal opinion. You might have a different opinion or a different list. A lot of ranking videos online have different opinions, so I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. With that out of the way, let's get the video started. Number 5. Mr. Lancer. Danny, Sam, Tucker, and Jazz's teacher on Danny Phantom. Mr. Lancer is a boring, dull, and really strict teacher when it comes to ensuring the success of the students at Casper High. In the beginning of the series, I noticed that 90% of the time, he is completely unfair, especially towards Danny. Whenever Dash bullies Danny and his friends, Dash always gets Danny and his friends in trouble, while he gets away with everything. Mr. Lancer will even punish poor Danny for no reason. An example of this is in the episode $1 Million Ghost, when Danny's father Jack blasts Mr. Lancer with a ghost weapon, thinking that he's a ghost. Because of this, Mr. Lancer punishes Danny with detention and extra homework, while Jack and Jazz just run off. Wow, Jazz, way to be a big sister and way to help your brother out. Mr. Lancer was kind of fair to Danny, however, in the Teacher of the Year episode when he lets Danny retake a test that he failed. Danny does very well on the retake, and we also find out in the same episode that even though Mr. Lancer does teach most of the time, he does play an online video game called Doom as well. Unfortunately, I feel Mr. Lancer doesn't really like Danny and his friends, mainly preferring his older sister Jazz due to her perfect and intelligent nature. It really ticked me off in the Ultimate Enemy TV movie when he puts so much pressure and stress on everyone, especially Danny, over a stupid career aptitude test. Mr. Lancer believes that this test determines your future. He states that if you pass it, you will have a great future, a great job, and a great life. But if you fail it, your life is over, and you will be stuck at a dead-end job like the Nasty Burger. Yeah, I am calling complete BS on that. One stupid test does not determine your future. From what I was taught, only we can determine our future, not some dumb test. This is what's wrong with our society sometimes. A lot of people are putting so much pressure on these school examinations that they do ridiculous things. I also didn't like what a complete rude jerk Mr. Lancer was in the first half of the TV movie, especially when he, Sam, and Tucker were at the Nasty Burger. Mr. Lancer called them slackers and said they should be studying. When Sam and Tucker said that they have already studied and they are confident that they will do well, Mr. Lancer responds by saying, "Enjoy your nasty burgers while you're still on this side of the counter." Seriously? I mean, hearing him say that made me want to punch him right in his face. What kind of a teacher are you saying that? There's a reason why Danny wanted to cheat. Can you blame him? I'm so glad Mr. Lancer did soften up at the end when Danny returned the answers. Mr. Lancer allowed Danny to take the CAT at a later date, giving him plenty of time to study for it. So I feel like not only did this episode teach Danny a lesson, it also taught Mr. Lancer a lesson as well, not to be a complete, unfair, strict jerk. I also feel like after this episode aired, in the later episodes that came after the Ultimate Enemy, Mr. Lancer was actually more fair to everyone. And now that he knows Danny's secret, he can finally understand where he's coming from, and he can actually give the kid a break. Despite all that, Mr. Lancer still has some work to do if he wants to be a better teacher. Number 4. Miss Bitters, Zim's teacher on Invader Zim. Miss Bitters is a mean, grumpy, old hag who lacks any positive emotions and is full of demonic hatred for the sun, children, her job, and life in general. She greatly dislikes children and has expressed frustration at school overcrowding, as well as hatred for traditional holidays. She is also very disturbing and scary when sneaking up on the students or leaning over them. She is also annoyed with the shenanigans of both Zim and Dib, who have caused disturbances in her class so many times. Although the reason she is like this is because we find out in the Career Day episode that she wanted to be an astronaut, but her dream didn't come true and she was stuck at a job that she didn't like. She doesn't seem to be rude to all of her students though. In the Lice episode, Miss Bitters did give Zeta an A for calling Dib crazy. Not to mention, I feel like Zeta is Miss Bitters' favorite student. So this basically shows that she does have small moments where she isn't completely harsh towards children or her class. Despite that, she really has to work on her attitude. Number 3. Miss Hoover, Lisa's teacher on The Simpsons. Miss Hoover is an uncaring teacher that only cares about her paycheck. She is neglectful and constantly mistreats her students, especially Lisa. She treats Ralph terribly, almost like he doesn't even exist. She treats Lisa even worse. Most of the time when Lisa is eager to learn, she either insults her or gives her the grades she doesn't deserve. In the Sorry Not Sorry episode, Miss Hoover forcefully made Lisa apologize and made her look like she's in the wrong for standing up to her when she gave everybody in the class a B-. She clearly can't handle any criticism because whenever Lisa or anyone else tries to point out her faults, she interrupts them like it isn't anything. She is very toxic, boring, hateful, and careless. Not only is she annoying when she is angry with her class, but she also dismisses them. Why would you enter this profession then if you had no interest in teaching, Miss Hoover? She is also a bad influence towards her students, and she smokes just like Mrs. Krabappel, Patty, and Selma. She is unsupportive and negative to her students, as if they had no future. I feel like this took effect in the later seasons of The Simpsons, because I feel like in the golden era of the show, which I consider seasons 1 through 10, Miss Hoover was actually fair and kind towards students. But as the series went on, I feel like she is flanderized into a mean old hack that takes her anger out on her own students and gives them unfair random grades for no reason. Now, I know The Simpsons isn't the same as it used to be, but Miss Hoover really needs to work on her fairness to her students. Number 2. Miss Butterbean, Billy and Mandy's teacher on The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Miss Butterbean is a very cruel, mean, abusive, hateful, selfish, lazy, incompetent, and vindictive woman, as she only wants the money from teaching and doesn't care about her students or the quality of her class, and is only teaching to get her fat paycheck. She even allows bullying in her class as long as she's paid off, as seen in the Substitute Teacher episode when Spurg bullies Nurgle Jr. And because Miss Butterbean didn't do anything to help Nurgle Jr. in that episode, he took matters into his own hands and got back at Spurg himself. This definitely makes her sadistic and corrupt. Miss Butterbean is often seen napping in the class. She seems to hate everything, everybody, and never cares if Grim comes or if he causes mass destruction. What kind of a teacher is she, being a grumpy old hag that only cares about herself? It's her job to care about the students. She really has to either be disciplined or fired and replaced with a better teacher. And before I reveal, in my opinion, the number 1 worst teacher in any cartoon, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1. Denzel Crocker, Timmy's teacher on The Fairly OddParents. Denzel Crocker is the definition of worst teacher. He is a crazy, fairy-obsessed old hack that wants nothing more than to torture kids and to get their fairies. In the Secret Origin of Denzel Crocker episode, we find out why he's like this. It's due to him losing his own fairies back when he was a miserable kid, all because of Cosmo! Now, I can understand that it had to be hard for Crocker to lose everything when he was a kid, but that doesn't mean he has the right to torture others. His instructions are unproductive and fail to create a positive learning atmosphere. Instead of offering real education, he is more likely to administer pop quizzes on subjects he hasn't even taught. On top of that, he even physically hurts his students. He hurts students? Really? What is wrong with this guy? Waxoplax should have fired him a long time ago, and that is why he is, in my opinion, the worst teacher in any cartoon. In conclusion, we are just gonna have to accept the fact that there are gonna be some teachers out there that are completely unfair, do stupid things, and basically do nothing to help us with the struggles in life. But if we keep doing the right thing by reporting their negative behavior to their bosses and the companies that they work with, eventually they'll realize the error of their ways and they can use those negative reports to strengthen their teaching skills and become better teachers. Seriously, don't end up like these teachers. Have a positive attitude, get to know your students as much as you can, and always help others out when they need it the most.